Good evening. My name is Shamara Vang. I am the mother of 3 beautiful daughters. I'm an artist, a mentor, and a very active member in my community. I also suffer from a nerve condition that causes me to have limited mobility. It is because of this condition that I am not always able to work. But, however, this is also why my children and I have experienced homelessness. For almost a year, we were living at a program called Jobs Have Priority with 27 other families without any other safe place to be. At Jobs Have Priority, we were able to build some very meaningful relationships with the staff, and then we connected with them. They connected with me, I would say, because they were there with open arms anytime I had a concern, anytime I needed anything. They were open for me. They never turned their door around. I don't even believe not one of them ever said, just a minute. I began working with the children to help them. Sorry, guys. My children and I have conquered a lot. I began working with the children and staff to express themselves through art therapy. I introduced the Mood Room. It's a safe and stress-free environment that we use to freely express at JHP how to express our feelings and frustrations through art. Since there were only about 35 families who lived there in the program, staff, including the director, knows each and every parent or family member by name. And I thought that that was very special because that's something that we needed. Migrating from a bigger shelter like DC General, we needed that personalized assistance from the case management and to be addressed as a person, you know what I mean, not just a case number. Also, my children and I, sincerely, we love them. Miss Simmons, Miss Rivers, everyone there at the program, Miss Lockett, everyone there at JHP, and we will never, ever forget what they have done for our family. About 2 weeks ago, the best part, thanks to Mayor Muriel Bowser and the Department of Human Services and Jobs Have Priority collectively, we, our family, have moved into our own apartment, and we have started a new adventure as the Vane Gang. So myself, Julia, Liana, and Marley will never, ever have to fear homelessness again. We are very, very thankful, and without further delay, it is my honor to introduce to you your mayor, my mayor, our mayor, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good evening, everybody. Those were lovely remarks. Let's give Shamira a big round of applause. And the girls, we're wishing you all the best of luck. And I am just really grateful that we get to be here tonight to cut the ribbon on the horizon right here in Ward 7. So let me thank Councilmember Gray, who is here, all of the advisory neighborhood commissioners in Ward 7, because this community has been engaged and supportive and active in ensuring that we deliver a beautiful short-term family housing facility to Ward 7. So let's hear it for the Ward 7 community. I would also like to acknowledge my team, who has been very active in making sure we reached today. I want to start by acknowledging the Interagency Council on Homelessness, led by Christy Greenwald. Please give them a big round of applause. You should know that we have an entire team of stakeholders that meets day in and day out, month in and month out, to ensure that our whole system of preventing and eventually ending homelessness among families, among seniors, among single individuals is eliminated in the District of Columbia. And because of their hard work and strategic work, we have put together a plan for ending homelessness in our city with consistent investment and always tough decisions and accurate implementation. So I want to thank you, Christy, for leading that wonderful team. I also want to acknowledge Laura Zeilinger, who leads our Department of Human Services. Give Laura a big round of applause. As well as Greer Gillis, who leads the Department of General Services, who is the construction team for the District of Columbia, and Keith Towery for helping to lead our advisory team of community members here in Ward 7. So thank you very much. We're also joined by our interim deputy mayor for greater economic opportunity, and I want to thank you, Brenda, for being here as well. So I think all of you know, over the last 4 years, we have been working very hard to make sure that a city as prosperous as ours could better support families who need a second chance, just like this family right here. And what we have talked about, and many people throughout this process have gotten to know, that families, no matter what ward they live in or from, or whether they need a second chance or not, people want the same things, right? They want safe, affordable housing. They want access to quality health care. They want their children to have great schools. And they want their children to have a better life than they did. And what we knew for sure is that D.C. General is too old, is too big, and is not meant for families to live in, not even for a single day. And so we have been committed to making sure we close D.C. General for good, and that every ward of the District of Columbia participate in our solution to solving family homelessness. Family homelessness is not just a Ward 2 issue, it's not just a Ward 7 issue, it's not just a Ward 8 issue, it's an all 8 wards issue. And that's why our plan to open short-term family housing facilities touches every ward of the District of Columbia. And you should know this, our plan is working. Just in the last 2 years, we have seen a 40% reduction, a 40% reduction in family homelessness in the district, and a 17% reduction in overall family homelessness. But we're not done yet. We're going to keep making investments in our system to prevent families from becoming homeless in the first place. We're going to make investments in all of our workforce programs so that people have a real second chance. We're very focused on what we're going to do next to solve our single homelessness issue, including building a first-rate facility on the St. Elizabeth's campus in the next couple of years. So with your help, we will be able to live up to the promises that we made, to invest in our families so that everybody can have a fair shot in our city. So I'm very, very happy now to introduce the Ward 7 council member who has been supportive every step of the way at making sure that we can deliver just a beautiful, beautiful short-term family housing facility. What we promised everyone is that not only families who will use this as a launch pad to restart in short-term family housing. We wanted to build facilities that would enhance the communities around them, and I think we've done that with the Horizon. Councilmember Gray.
Thank you very much, Mayor Bowser. I'm really delighted to be here, and let me be one of those who extends my congratulations to you on making this happen. It is a great day for our families, and we certainly heard it from Shamira and her girls. Thank you so much. How about a big hand for Shamira and her family? It is wonderful to stand here today and say that D.C. General is no more. It's certainly something that as mayor I tackled and others tackled as well, and I'm delighted that you have gotten the 8 wards now involved in providing, short-term family settings for people who deserve to have another chance, another opportunity to be able to have the kind of life that they want to lead. So, again, I want to thank you. I want to thank Keith Towery, also, my good friend Keith, who is the president of the Marshall Heights Community Civic Association, and all that you did with the advisory committee as well, Keith. It was great to... It was great to work with you, to have you come down and we sit down and talk about how in the world we can make this happen, and you certainly provided extraordinary leadership to be able to do that, and I'm delighted for what you have been able to do. I'm also delighted with the opportunities we'll have at St. E's to know that we're going to have a new singles shelter there. I guess it'll be built at the same time our new hospital is going to be built on the grounds of St. Elizabeth's, which will be hopefully getting underway soon. Sooner. That's like you've heard my timetable for that one, Mayor. I think we ought to be hopefully underway and finished by December 31st, 2021. That'll be the challenge, but we can get that done, can't we? Look at what you got done here. So, and right around the corner too, we have the Fletcher Johnson School, which is another place that's been sitting there for a very long time. It served as the swing school for H.D. Woodson for some time, and it really has not been used as a school since. And I'm hopeful, too, working with the community, because we had a great session that Deputy Mayor Kenner was at as well, along with some of his staff a couple of months ago, to talk about the future for Fletcher Johnson. And so I'm excited about the opportunities that exist there. We can get that done relatively quickly. We also can then make that available to the people who will be living here. The other thing is that we've got to work on, and I know we're all committed to that, and that is bringing the amenities to this area of the city that just are lacking. We have so many food deserts in the District of Columbia, and especially in Ward 7 and Ward 8. We have only 2 grocery stores in Ward 7. We have only 1 grocery store in Ward 8, and yet we have some wards that alone have 7, 8, and some going on 10 grocery stores. So we've got a couple pieces of legislation that we've got enacted that will provide tax breaks and hopefully incentives for grocery stores to come to areas of the city that they otherwise would not come to. So let's celebrate this today. I'm looking forward to being able to go through and see the units that people will be living in, and how many families? We're going to have 35 families here. Is that right, Mayor? Yeah, 35. And so what we need to do is make sure that we're ready for people once they have done their due here, once they've served their time here, once they've been here long enough to be able to move to the next step, that we then have the permanent housing available to them, so that other families who may have these kind of needs have a chance to be able to move in and be a part of this. So this is a great day, and I'm proud to be able to congratulate you on the work that you did to make this happen. Now let's make sure, everybody, that we get the families to the next place, get them ready to move on, and they'll be able to come back like Shamira and talk about what she's doing with her life. Thank you all very much.
And I do want to underscore the great work of the Ward 7 community. We were together at another housing facility that we opened, and I had the opportunity to say that Ward 7 embraces our new communities project and welcoming neighbors of all incomes, and Ward 7 has embraced our new short-term family housing facility and can serve as a real model for all the wards in the city. So thank you very much. Now let me introduce Laura Zeinliger, who is going to talk a little bit more about what DHS is doing, the service providers that we will have here. Then we are going to hear from Keith Towery and Director Gillis to talk about our construction project, our CBEs that have been involved, the DC residents who have worked on this project, and what we can expect when we begin to welcome families for their short-term stay. Laura.
Good evening, everyone. I am so absolutely thrilled to be here with you, and I cannot wait to see even more the looks on your faces when you get to walk through and see how beautiful the interior is of this building. I want to absolutely acknowledge the mayor and her vision and leadership in making this happen. As we've been on this journey I have with the District of Columbia for about a decade now, and how we deliver homeless services, we always are focused on the housing and where families need to go next. And we have learned really very much the hard way how critical it is that we invest in having the right crisis response system and really a beautiful place that reflects our values, the care and love that we feel for families who need a safe place. And this is a place that as you walk through, I know you will feel it. I mentioned when we opened the Ward 4 site that we took a lot of time really with Christy Greenwald's leadership as well as Steve from DGS to listen to families who are in our programs, to listen to our service providers, to listen to advocates, child development specialists from Children's Hospital, and really hear about how do we create a temporary space that also provides all of the different needs and amenities that people need in that situation, supports them to to appropriately relaunch themselves in a way that they are coming from a place of strength. And going from a list of requirements to then having architects really interpret that and create beautiful spaces that reflect our values is something that, as a community, we should feel so proud of. I cannot underscore that enough. There are we worked really closely and with the community and the advisory team, and I want to acknowledge, in addition, the leadership of Forrest Hayes, who was the co-chair on the advisory team, with Keith Towery from Marshall Heights, really coming together with government leadership at a very senior level and members of the community to say, how do we be really good neighbors in this community as we provide services and supports? Members of my team did that as well. In addition, I do want to acknowledge that there are a whole team of people at the Department of Human Services who often their work is really invisible. Lisa Franklin manages our capital and operations team, and Dwayne Gentry, Sanina Pugh Jackson, and then Allison Tucker, who represented our services, have really been involved in working so closely with the team at DGS in making this right. So I do want to acknowledge members of my team, and Jenna Savasco, who has really been helping us get this working with community relationships and now is going to help us realize the program implementation. Now, we have a phenomenal partner here. We have a Ward 7 partner who is rooted in this community, who I am so excited has stepped up to be a partner with the city in this effort. Life Deeds provides phenomenal services. They have offices very near here in Ward 7. They work with DHS on a number of our housing programs. They work with DYRS. They really do some phenomenal work, and they are in the array of services and focus. Now, I'm going to speak a little out of turn and say that I even saw Mr. Kamara, who is their director, trading cards with one of the people who has managed the construction to talk about, we want to be connecting families to jobs. I know you've got more projects, so already from the beginning advocating for what we know people need. One thing we know about families who we serve at the Department of Human Services is everybody, as the mayor said, wants to provide for their children, and they really want opportunity. They want to work, and they want access. And so we have a provider here who is about understanding and supporting the array of needs and helping people access those opportunities really from the beginning. So I could not be more thrilled about that partnership and about the services that we will be providing and connecting families to here. They will provide wonderful meals, and you'll see some of the dining space. They will provide connection to the whole different array of supports and services that families need. And I will say, just as my final part, that one of the most important, if not the very most important endorsement, is of a family who has experienced our services. So I had the opportunity to walk through with Miss Vang, with Marley, with Julia, with Liana, and what did you think? You thought it was all right? You kind of liked it. They ran around and tested out beds, tested out playground equipment, and we got Based on the smiles I was seeing,
Advocate
we got the seal of approval from the Bang family. So I really want to acknowledge just what can happen when community comes together and is willing to put our resources behind our values and create a different future in the way that we serve people. And love that we're here to celebrate this together. Thank you so much.
Let me introduce Keith Towery.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, man. How you doing today? That's good. How y'all doing today?
Great.
I want to say, first of all, welcome Ward 7. Welcome to Marshall Heights, everybody else. So right now, if you take a look around Marshall Heights, you can see the beautiful examples of what it looks like when the community and the government works together. As of today, right up the street on 49th Street, there's an interim library that's up and running as our beloved Capitol View Library is being renovated. On this same street, down on 50th, C.W. Harris is undergoing a renovation to ensure our kids can have centralized AC and heat year-round. Just south of here on Southern Avenue, our Benning Park Recreation Center will be receiving those much-needed repairs to its roof and windows. Lastly, right up the street, Fletcher Johnson is finally becoming part of a larger conversation about next steps. All of this to say, with advocacy, follow-up, follow-through, and leadership, the government and the community can accomplish so many great things. Over the last year, I've had the honor to represent my community as a co-chair of the Ward 7 Short-Term Family Housing Advisory Team, alongside with the incredible leader with invaluable experience, Mr. Forrest Hayes. Although we all thought in the beginning that this might not have been the most ideal location for the New Horizon building, we decided to organize and make this a very positive opportunity for us all to work together and open our concerns and air our concerns with the government. And just look at this beautiful building now. This is literally changing the face of what this community is looking like. But as a partnership, we held many public meetings and developed a good neighbor agreement that outlines rules and practices that our future neighbors, us here in the community, and the government will all honor. We've also secured a variety of additional resources for the community at large that is meant to continue to strengthen it and help improve the quality of life for all of us here in the neighborhood. We all should be proud that this is yet another example of a power and collaborative work between the government and our citizens. Most importantly, we should take pride in our character. In this community, we didn't have any of those "not in my backyard" signs. In Marshall Heights, our biggest issue was just looking out for the people that will occupy this space, as we were more concerned with their safety and ensuring that living here would not jeopardize their journey to homelessness, out of homelessness. I just want to reassure you all again that with the Good Neighbor Agreement, our positive relationship with our government agencies, and our active short-term family housing advisory team, ANC, and civic associations, that we will all continue to work together and hold each other to the highest standards. Please think of this ribbon cutting as the start of just so much more life-changing transformational work. I want to give a shout out to everybody that was on this project. We've all said thank yous to a lot of people, and my time is running up. But I want to most importantly thank our council member and our mayor, Muriel Bowser. You had a vision to improve the lives of the homeless and provide better individualized services by closing that massive DC General and setting up smaller housing in each ward so more services and direct needs could more effectively be placed to address their needs. And that is remarkable. Thank you for your foresight, and thank you for putting people in leadership positions throughout your various agencies, your past and present deputy mayors and directors. They've been a pleasure to work with. And y'all come back out to Marshall Heights, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you, man.
And now it brings me pleasure to introduce Greer Gillis, who leads our Department of General Services. And I want to thank everybody at DGS who has worked on this project, from weekly meetings to budget hearings to changes and how the program would be implemented to get us to this day. And Greer, you have been there every step of the way. Director Gillis.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Horizon. We are so excited here at DGS to be here with you today, this evening, to bring the horizon towards 7. First and foremost, I do want to thank, in behalf of the 700-member team at DGS, Mayor Bowser, for giving us the confidence that we could deliver on your vision and actually bring it to fruition today. Thank you. To Councilmember Gray for all of your support throughout this construction project, even beyond that, thank you very much. I do want to take a special opportunity to thank the members of district government that have been supporting, not only supporting, but partnering with us, really, engaged with all of us so that we could bring this project to fruition. First, my client partner at the Department of Human Services, Director Zeilinger, and her staff for their commitment and compassion as we took on this construction project together. Also to Director Greenwald and ICH, Deputy Mayor Donaldson with the Deputy Mayor's Office for Greater Economic Opportunity, as well as the Deputy Mayor's Office for Health and Human Services. We have been working together collaboratively on this effort so that we could bring the short-term family housing projects to fruition, because at the end of the day, it was all about the families. It was all about the families. And it's the families who deserve better than what we are currently providing at the DC General Shelter. And we are so proud to be able to provide this home to them, something so much better. You know, 2 weeks ago, we cut the ribbon at Ward 4, and we were so excited about that. But now we're excited about Ward 7, because this construction is a first for us at DGS. It's our first modular building in the entire city, something that's innovative for district government. Yes, please whistle. It was because of this modular construction that we were able to deliver this building on time to all of you. And so I'm excited for you to actually come in and see this modular construction to see where the families actually will thrive. So let me take a moment to also thank the advisory team, as well as the Ward A community and the ANC commissioners. Without your support, my team could not have done this job. Your biggest concern throughout this entire effort was how could you embrace the families? That was such a delight for my team to hear. It helped them to really understand, again, we were delivering for the families. And to my DGS team, to my project delivery office and my short-term family housing team, project manager Marcus Broomer, program manager Brian Butler, our actual senior leadership and Paul Blackman and Michael Jellin, thank you for your dedication and effort in delivering this project today. Yes, thank you. To my construction management team, JDC, and my QA/QC team, ATCS, thank you. But I really need to take an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to truly thank the general contractor that delivered this. They took this on as a personal mission. They assured me they would deliver this project to Mayor Bowser on time, and they delivered. So to Rudy, to Mark, to Brian, to John, to Frank, to everyone of MCN Build, thank you. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Now, of course, I need to share the numbers. There were 13 certified business enterprises that worked on this project, 13 DC certified businesses that worked on their projects, and there were over 100 DC residents that worked on this project. Many, many people lent their hands to developing this project for all of us. I look forward to seeing you all inside, and for now, I turn it back over to Mayor Bowser. Thank you.
Thank you, Greer. Okay, we have like a few minutes for questions, and then we're going to get to the ribbon cutting and tour. Any questions? All right, let's cut the ribbon.
That's why I was trying to get in front of you.
Oh, man, hold on. Oh, switch positions.
We have another.
Put your hand. You're good.
Okay, everyone come to the ribbon.
Okay, on the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.